All right. So how you guys doing? You feeling tired today? I hope you're not tired, because if you're watching this at 1 a.m., you probably shouldn't be watching it. But who I am to stop you? But by the time this video drops, it's probably going to be in the middle of the day. So you all have gotten plenty of sleep, I hope. Shout out to my overnight shift people, the graveyard shift people. You guys are doing God's work, because I'm never working one of them shifts again. Whew. But anyways. Looking at what we have today, it looks like somebody decided to take on the Glorious Challenge, which, is basically a self-harming mission, or a self-deletion mission, in my opinion, of going the longest without sleep. And who is our contestant, you may wonder? Well, our contestant is a YouTuber by the name of Norm. He has a little bit over like 1 million subscribers, almost about to hit 2 million. And so when I look into his content, for instance, this is somebody who has, kind of like, it seems like he's geared to a bit more of a younger audience. So he does stuff like Roblox memes and ranking flags and all kinds of other stuff. So very, whatever content. It is what it is. However, like I just said, he decided to be like, I want to get the world record for not getting enough sleep. Now, I don't know about you guys, but naturally, I like getting my sleep when I want it. Matter of fact, sometimes I feel like I don't get enough sleep, because I believe they say what on average you gotta sleep like 8 hours a day or something like that. And keep in mind, when you go to sleep, all right, I'm just going vaguely off my memory, but your body's doing all kinds of like repairs and stuff. So your immune system's rebuilding itself, your cells are kind of getting in shape or whatever, all that fun stuff. Even like with brain activity, even though your brain's technically active while it's sleeping, it's also catering itself to other parts of the body. So it's actually very important to sleep. Like, it's actually essential. I know they say what you spend like a third of your life sleeping or something like that, but you need that third of sleeping. Now, magically, do I wish that I could stay up sometimes and get some like projects done or something like that? Yes, absolutely. Sometimes it feels like after everything you do in the day, especially when you work a job, you're just so tired you want to do other stuff. But it is what it is. You cannot beat sleep. Sleep comes for everybody. As a matter of fact, even if you go without sleep for like even like a day, what your body does, I believe, is that it'll actually go into like micro sleep. So like you might be awake and you might doze off for like 15 seconds. You wake up again, and this could be especially dangerous when you're on the road, because 15 seconds on the road could be anything. Especially how some people over here drive. Oh my goodness. But in case we all want to be on the same page, let's look at some how systems are affected when we have sleep deprivation. So here on this website, it says here, heart and circulatory systems. Sleep deprivation has long-term damaging effects on your health, health too, and circulatory health. People with chronic sleep deprivation are more likely to develop high blood pressure, hypertension, and high cholesterol, hyperlipidemia. Metabolic systems. People with chronic sleep deprivation are at a much higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Immune system. Your body's natural defenses against infections can't work properly if you aren't getting enough sleep. Nervous system. It's common for people who aren't sleeping enough to have higher pain sensitivity, which means they feel pain more easily. The pain is more intense, or both. Brain. Sleep deprivation has very negative effects on how your brain works. While experts don't fully understand sleep's role in brain function, they do know it's a key part of how people learn and remember. There's also some evidence that sleep deprivation could play a role in the development of Alzheimer's disease, aka that's one where you lose your memory and stuff. Mental health. Sleep deprivation also negatively affects your mental health, making it harder for you to manage and process your emotions. People with sleep deprivation are more likely to feel symptoms of depression and anxiety. So, as we've read together here, you can actually see that, well, naturally, it's not entirely, feasible to not sleep, because there's literally no upsides to not sleeping. It's something that's like just core to your being. So the fact that this guy is even trying it, he's basically harming himself, which actually ties into our next part of this, because it's pretty interesting what YouTube has to say about it. Because mind you, he was not only trying to do this record, he was live streaming it. I feel like I forgot to mention that, but yes, he was trying to live stream his world record, which is kind of funny because the Guinness Book of World Records doesn't even do it anymore. Like, they don't record the stuff because it is literally proven to be too dangerous to continue this experiment. But alas, I actually want to show you a little snippet from the Guinness Book of World Records about this whole sleep deprivation stuff. And so I believe up until this point, doing a bit more research onto Norm here, he actually ended up, I believe he only lasted 11 days, or 12 days-ish, which is not even close to the world record. So here from the Guinness Book of World Records, it says, in 1997, we stopped monitoring the record for the longest time to stay awake. The record holder at the time was Robert McDonald, who went 453 hours and 40 minutes, or 18 days, 21 hours and 40 minutes without sleeping in 1986. Although we no longer monitor the record due to the inherent dangers associated with sleep deprivation, we can say that no one is known to have broken it since McDonald. That posed the question, is it truly impossible for a human to stay awake for 19 consecutive days? And just how dangerous it is to forego sleep for such a long period of time? In order to estimate the upper limit of how long a human can go without sleep, let's look first at how far the boundaries of human wakefulness has been stretched over the years. And I'm just going to stop it right here because I'm not really that interested in the rest of this, because we're going to look at the experiment itself actually a little bit. But before we do that, so what did YouTube have to say about his local live stream? So looking at this picture right here, it turns out that Norm was banned. At least his live stream was taken down. Why was that? Because it falls under the harmful and dangerous policy. And mind you, if you ever do stuff on YouTube, you know the community guidelines is almost like a Bible to you at this point, or whatever holy book you want to read, where it's like you know exactly where to find what guideline you are striking, because sometimes even just like saying certain words, you gotta tiptoe around the system because you don't want to get those advertisers mad. But however, this stream is blatant. It's actually blatantly harming yourself, as we went over the side effects. So looking at their dangerous and harmful policy, here it says extremely dangerous challenges that pose an imminent risk of physical injury. Well, I don't think we have to go that far. We keep going though. Dangerous or threatening pranks that lead victims to fear imminent serious physical danger or that create serious emotional distress in minors. Helpful or dangerous acts performed by adults that have a risk of serious harm or death. So, by the way, he literally broke 2 of these, technically speaking, if we really follow the guidelines here. Not really very vague in this case. And so, here we also have minors participating in dangerous activities, content that endangers the emotional and physical well-being of minors. More info and review our child safety policy. So, going by the guidelines here, Norm is clearly breaking them. So, and like I said, whoever asked me to do this challenge, I don't even know. And hell, even if we follow along on his Twitter here, I actually found that he says that he had to go to the ER because his skin was literally peeling off of him. So I was just going to show you that, like, while it may technically not be linked to sleep, I think it's safe to say that not sleeping for 12 days or 11 days is going to have some serious side effects. So skin peeling is not out of the realm of possibility. And he even said he was in the ER, but he said he's going to be okay. Now, mind you, while he's taxing, many wherever he lives, I don't know if he's in the US, probably has to pay his own medical bill, or if he's in like the UK or something, you're taxing the civilians. Regardless, somebody's got to pay for his foolishness, and it's just like, why? But however, Norm could not be defeated because he actually also went to Twitch. And guess what? Twitch also banned him for, the same reason as to why, same reason. However, in case you want to know what Twitch's community guidelines is, and I know Twitch is very inconsistent, but however, this time I believe that they actually were pretty consistent with this one. So, if I open this one, and it says here, self-destructive behavior. Harming yourself or discussing self-harm can be dangerous for not only yourself, but for viewers and those around you. We understand that streamers and viewers should be able to discuss sensitive topics related to self-harm or mental health, and we want Twitch to remain a safe space to do so. Anyone should be able to talk about their struggles if they choose to. However, Twitch does not allow content that glorifies, promotes, or encourages self-harm. We also prohibit activity that may endanger your life, lead to your physical harm, or encourage others to engage in physical harmful behavior. We do not make exceptions for self-destructive behavior performed as a stunt or gag made in jest or meant to entertain, when the behavior could be reasonably expected to be caused physical injury to anyone in our service. And here's a list of examples here as well. So, as you can see here, Yeah, so Norm basically broke all the rules. Now, whether he wants to try this on Rumble or not, I don't know. But his challenge actually has ended, and he did like he did a whole sleep stream, but he also got banned on other places for sleeping. So it is what it is. But it kind of gives you the question though, like, what exactly happens when you don't sleep? Because I'm curious. So I'm actually gonna pull out the little experiment that we just mentioned earlier. Let's go take a look at it. So here I have a little bit of a Wikipedia page on the Randy Gardner experiment. And so the key points we're going to highlight here are the health effects and his recovery. So without further ado, let's do some reading. And so it says here, it has been claimed that Gardner's experiments demonstrated that extreme sleep deprivation has little effect other than the mood changes associated with tiredness, primarily due to a report by researcher William C. Dement, who stated that on the 10th day of the experiment, Gardner had been, among other things, able to dement at pinball. However, Lieutenant Commander John J. Ross, who monitored his health, reported serious cognitive and behavioral changes. These included moodiness, problems with concentration and short-term memory, paranoia, and hallucinations. On the 11th date, which is what Norm made it up to, when he asked to subtract 7 repeatedly, starting with 100, he stopped at 65. When asked why he had stopped, he replied that he had forgotten what he was doing. On his final day, Gardner presided over a press conference where he appeared to be in excellent health. I wanted to prove that bad things didn't happen if you went without sleep, said Gardner. I thought I could break that record, and I don't think it would be a negative experience. So, before we even go into this, so really what Norm should be experiencing stuff like this. And if you actually pull out any of the videos that he was in, you can see that this man looks like he was barely clinging on to life. Unfortunately, I am not going to show like much of it because it's honestly kind of it's a bit unsettling, and also it's be breaking the rules. But essentially, like, he looks like he is barely holding on, and even like he has his friends trying to keep him awake and stuff. But to me, your friends should probably be stopping you doing this because you are literally hurting yourself. And for what? Literally nothing. The Guinness Book of World Records won't even recognize him for it because they don't record the stuff because it's too dangerous. But regardless, so when you actually look at like this report, for instance, and you compare it to what you see on like some of these streams, yeah, it looks like his cognitive behavior, or whatever his brain activity is just not there. It is non-existent. Like, he's barely even staying like awake. So it's dangerous. Man, let's look at the recovery though. So Gardner's sleep recovery was observed by sleep researchers who noted changes in sleep structure during post-deprivation recovery. After completing his record, Gardner slept for 18 hours and 46 minutes, awoke naturally around 8:40 p.m. and stayed awake until around 7:30 p.m. the next day, when he slept an additional 10.5 hours. Gardner appeared to have fully recovered from his loss of sleep, with follow-up recordings taken 1, 6, and 10 weeks after the fact, showing no significant differences. However, in 2017, Gardner reported that he started experiencing serious insomnia around 2007, decades after his sleep experiment, and believed his participation in the 1960s sleep study was to blame. Now, while like I said, this may be a Wikipedia article, I just needed a quick summary on this, so there are sources down below in this article if you want to check it out for yourself. But essentially, what I'm just trying to tell you guys is that this is not, I mean, I know most of you guys know this, but this is not something that you should be promoting to begin with, like not sleeping. In this case, it was for an experiment. Whether you want to talk about the ethics of it or not, that's up to you. But I'm just saying that the fact that Norm was trying this experiment and basically, failing significantly, and platforms banning him, which they should. At the end of the day, though, I find that a lot of people will do stuff in the name of content. And so it may sound, maybe if you're a bit younger, it sounds cool. Oh my god, I want to stay up because dad told me to go to bed at 8:30. Actually, some of y'all got lucky with your bedtimes. My bedtime used to be at 8 o'clock. I have to go and sleep. And I barely got erased to half an hour. Some of y'all lucky. But anyways, to cut. Point is, so while this may sound cool, you're actually promoting a very dangerous, challenge to people. And there's gonna be one idiot, I know for a fact, it's gonna be like, I can probably beat this streamer's record, and they're gonna go for it, and then poof, something happens. As far as we know, we don't know if that's happened, but I'm saying there's always an effect that we don't see. And so promoting this stuff is never okay in my opinion. It's excessively dangerous for no reason, like, at all. And I understand, like, mind you, for people who don't get enough sleep in general, it's like sometimes you come home late from a shift and it's like you have to go cook, you gotta put the kids to bed, you gotta do this and that, and then you barely get time for yourself. But it's like, at the end of the day, we should always try to make an effort to, get enough sleep and just take care of our health in general. Like, to be honest with you, mind you, I mean, hey, if they discover some super pill that can keep me awake for 24 hours, hey, I'll probably look at it and be like, you know what? As much as I want to get stuff done, I'd rather be healthy and live, as long as I need to be, rather than, dying early because I wanted to, skip out on some sleep. So, it is what it is. But anyways, that's enough out of this video. Yeah, stay away from these challenges. There's not much else I have to add to this stuff. But if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more of me, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. Leave a dislike if you want to. That means you're not sleeping enough. I'm just kidding. See ya.